That's one way to open a video. That's one way to start this shit, I guess. Anyway, hello, ladies and gentlemen. That's going in my head for a while. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Forrest Holby here, and welcome back to another live stream. Outside of what I intentionally just did, we are here because of this baby right here. Now, this is the re-release of the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG Legendary Decks 2. This has Joey / Janonchi, Yami Yugi, and Seto Kaiba decks. Joey's deck consisting of Red Eyes, Yugi's deck consisting of Exodia, and a few other monsters here and there, and Kaiba's deck obviously containing the Blue Eyes White Dragon decks. The Blue Eyes deck. And hello Eric, how you doing tonight? So this actually came out recently from Walmart. I'm always on top of this, thanks to some other sources here. But yeah, this came out recently at Walmart for $30. But jeez, you cow. But anyway, yeah. So, as the title will tell you, we are gonna be opening this thing. Even though I already did so with the original version of this from way back when, about a few months ago. So I was like, you know what? We're gonna get the re-released version too, because why the fuck not? In any event, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna lift up the camera so that way everybody can see it a lot better. And I'm doing pretty good, Eric. Thank you for asking. Alright. I'm gonna try to open this up. I think I already... Oh, no, not yet, but I think I got it. Yeah, trying to... Oh, I think I may have found one. Oh. Come on. So I was a pain in the bum trying to find a good opening for this. Oh. So close on that one. Oh, come on. I gotta love it when you gotta open the box sometimes. How Konami has these things packaged is sometimes really funny, but also kind of messed up. Sometimes it can be very easy, other times it can be like the devil incarnate. It's terrible. Oh, I think I got it. Yep, I got it. I got it. There we go. We got it open now. There we go. We got it open now. I just need to open it up in a way where it's nice and... There we go. There we go. We got it open now. Alright. I'll go ahead and lower it down again. But, there we go. We got it open. Now, let's see what this bad boy has for us in store. If you've already seen the, now I'm just gonna say for the record, if you've already seen the, unboxing video of the original version, you're gonna basically see the same thing here. But for those of you that are new to this, we're gonna take a quick look at these. Now, obviously, if you, obviously because of how they were re-released, they go by how the new border is compared to when it first came out in 2017. So, and because these are re-releases, they're obviously not gonna sell very well anymore. Now, I will state for the record, had I known this was gonna be the case, I would have left the 2017 version that I bought a few months back, I would have left that wrapped. I would have left that sealed. But I didn't know this until recently. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to buy this because why the fuck not? Okay. So let's take a look at the cards that we get in this 3-card pack here. Alright. So we're going to get 3 new cards. These 3 cards are specifically for Yugi because, well, you'll see here in a moment. So let's take a look at these cards. We got, hold on, let me do this a lot better. So our first card is Dark Burning Attack. This is a spell card with the effect, if you control a Dark Magician Girl monster, destroy all face-up monsters your opponent controls. Yeah, that's how it is. Next we have Dark Burning Magic. This is actually a quick play spell, which is basically like a counter trap, in case you're wondering what kind of spell card that is. This card has the effect, if you control monsters whose original names are Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl, destroy all cards your opponent controls. That says, and, so that gives you 2 monsters to work with. Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl. And I almost thought that was a bit messed up, but anyway. And finally, Eternal Soul. This is a continuous trap card. With the effect, every Dark Magician in your monster zone is unaffected by your opponent's card effects. Thank you, Bottom, for giving me a fart for whatever reason. If this face-up card leaves the field, destroy all monsters you control. You can only use the following effect of Eternal Soul once per turn. You can activate one of these effects. 1. Special summon 1 Dark Magician from your hand or graveyard. Or add 1 Dark Magic attack or 1,000 Knives from your deck to your hand. Like I said, these 3 secret rares are aimed specifically for Yugi's deck. And nothing more. Just Yugi's deck and that's it. There is not even a card where it's like 1 for Yugi, 1 for Joey, 1 for Kaiba. It's literally, fuck the other 2, they're on their own. Here are 3 powerful cards. Here are 3 cards for Yugi. Because why not? So there's that for those 3. But now we have our 3 decks. We got our Kaiba deck, the Yugi deck, and the Joey deck. Because he is the underdog / the godfather of games. Thank you, Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie from 2004 for that line. We're going to start off with the Joey deck, which is his Red Eyes deck. Alright. This one should be a lot easier to work with this time compared to how it was wrapped the last time. I just gotta be real careful because I really don't want to damage any of these cards because obvious, right? Oh, there. Oh, that's so promising. You gotta love it when you hear your opening make a sound and it sounds so promising. There we go. Alright. starting things off, we have... I'm going to try to do this in the best way I can possibly do so. We have the Black Stone of Legend, which is basically like the White Stone of Legend on the Blue Eyes White Dragon side. Let's see if I can do this a lot better here. Yeah, it's a little bit better, I guess. This is a level 1 Dark Attribute Dragon Effect Monster. 0 attack, 0 defense with the effect, and I hope you guys can see that. You contribute this card, special summon 1 level 7 or lower Red Eyes monster from your deck, except Red Eyes B-Chick. If this card is in your graveyard, you can target 1 level 7 or lower Red Eyes monster in your graveyard, except Red Eyes B-Chick. Shuffle it into the deck, and if you do, add this card to your hand. You can only use the 1 Black Stone of Legend effect per turn, and only once that turn. Yeah, so interesting. Nice card there. Next, we have the continuous trap card, Return of the Red Eyes. If you control a Red Eyes monster, except Red Eyes Black Chick, or Red Eyes B-Chick as I like to call it, you can target 1 normal monster in your graveyard, special summon it. If this card in your possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect and sent to your graveyard, you can target 1 Red Eyes monster in your graveyard except Red Eyes Black Chick. Special summon it. You can only use each effect of Return of the Red Eyes once per turn. Next we have the Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. This is a rank 7 Dark Attribute Dragon Xyz effect monster. Requires 2 level 7 monsters to Xyz summon this beast. It has 2800 attack, 2400 defense. With the effect, cannot be destroyed by card effects while it has Xyz material. While this card has Xyz material, each time your opponent activates a card or effect, inflict 500 damage to your opponent immediately after it resolves. Once per turn, during either player's turn, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card, then target 1 Red Eyes normal monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Speaking of which, here it is, the Red Eyes Black Dragon. The one where we're not seeing the original copy, like the original artwork. One of the remakes here. It has 2400 attack, 2000 defense. It is a level 7 Dark Attribute Dragon normal monster. With the effect, with the description I should say, a ferocious dragon with a deadly attack. Yeah, like I said, 2400 attack, 2000 defense. Next we have Red Eyes Black Flare Dragon. This is a level 7 Dark Attribute Dragon Gemini effect monster with 2400 attack, 2000 defense. With the effect on it, this card is treated as a normal monster while face up on the field or in the graveyard. While this card is a normal monster on the field, you can normal summon it to have it become an effect monster with this effect. If damage calculation is performed involving this card at the end of the battle phase, you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to this card's original attack. You can only use this effect of Red Eyes Black Flare Dragon once per turn. Next up, we have the Red Eyes version of Summon Skull, but obviously better because Summon Skull is a normal monster, while this one is an effect monster. In any event, this is Red Eyes Archfiend of Lightning. Hold on a second. I didn't know that if my family member was coming in or not. That's why I had my finger at the ready to mute. But anyway, this is a level 6 Dark Attribute Fiend Gemini effect monster with 2500 attack and 1200 defense. With the effect, this card is treated as a normal monster while face up on the field or in the graveyard. While this card is a normal monster on the field, you can normal summon it to have it become an effect monster with this effect. Once per turn, you can destroy all face-up monsters your opponent controls with defense lower than this card's attack. So basically, if it's 2500, 2450 or lower, gone. I guess you can say it's almost like a crush card virus sort of deal, I guess. Anyway, next up we have Red Eyes Retro Dragon. This is a level 4 Dark Attribute Dragon Effect monster with 1700 attack and 1600 defense. With the effect, if a level 7 or lower Red Eyes monster or monsters you control, except Red Eyes Black Chick, is destroyed by your opponent's attack or card effect and sent to your graveyard while this card is in your hand, you can special summon this card in defense position, and if you do, special summon as many of those destroyed monsters as possible in the same position they were all in when destroyed. You contribute this card, you can normal summon one Red Eyes monster during your main phase that turn, except Red Eyes Black Chick, in addition to your normal summoner set. You can only gain this effect once per turn. So yeah, there's that one. That makes it really nice, honestly. Really nice card if that's the case. Next up we have Black Metal Dragon. It's a level 1 Dark Attribute Dragon Effect monster, 600 attack and defense. With the effect, you can target one Red Eyes monster you control except Red Eyes Black Chick. Equip this monster from your hand or field to that target. It gains 600 attack. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add one Red Eyes card from your deck to your hand, except Red Eyes Black Chick. Man, I'm starting to think Konami has a thing against the Red Eyes Black Chick, apparently. But now time for the vanilla monsters, starting with Axe Raider. It's a level 4 Earth Attribute Warrior monster with a 1700 attack and 1150 defense. With the description, an axe-wielding monster of tremendous strength and agility. It's half right, I guess. It's partly right, but, you know, we've seen more stronger normal monsters. Anyway, next up we have Alligator's Sword, a level 4 Earth Attribute Beast monster, even though it should honestly be a Beast. I don't know, maybe it should have been a Beast Warrior, because it's got a sword and armor. But I digress. Anyway, this card has 1500 attack and 1200 defense. With the description, hey, this mighty lizard man can swing his sword so fast that it's more than the speed of sound. Yeah, thank you, Joey, for your kind wisdom. Next up, we have Baby Dragon. This is a level 3 Wind Attribute Dragon type monster. 1200 attack, 700 defense. With the description, much more than just a child, this dragon is gifted with untapped power. Nice. That's what it says anyway. Next up, we have everybody's favorite classic Yu-Gi-Oh card, and I say almost everybody, if not completely everybody. Jinzo! This is a level 6 Dark Attributes Machine Effect monster. 2400 attack, 1500 defense. With the effect, trap cards and their effects on the field cannot be activated. Negate all trap card effects on the field. Trap tricks users, you're gonna hate this card. With your trap cards, you're gonna hate that beast, that monster. Anyway, next up we have Goblin Attack Force. This is a level 4 Earth Attribute Warrior Effect monster with 2300 attack and 0 defense. With the effect, if this card attacks, it is changed to defense position at the end of the battle phase, and its battle position cannot be changed until the end phase of your next turn. So think of Big Shield Gardener, but the exact opposite, pretty much. Next, we have Gearfried the Iron Knight. Look at this man, this dual disc looking thing over here. Anyway, this is a level 4 Earth Attribute Warrior Effect monster with 1800 attack and 1600 defense. With the effect, when an equipped card or cards is equipped to this card, destroy that equipped card or cards. So pretty much any monster any card that, any negative equipped card, yeah, it's gone. Next up we have Rocket Warrior. This is a level 4 light attribute warrior effect monster with 1500 attack and 1300 defense with the effect. During your battle phase, this card cannot be destroyed by battle, and you take no battle damage from attacks involving this card. If this card attacks a monster, after damage calculation, that attack target loses 500 attack until the end of this turn. So there's that. Next up we have Blue Flame Swordsman. This is a level 4 fire attribute warrior effect monster with 1800 attack and 1600 defense with the effect. Once per turn during either player's battle phase, you can target one other warrior type monster you control. This card loses exactly 600 attack, and if it does, that monster gains 600 attack. When the card you control is destroyed by your When this card you control is destroyed by your opponent's card by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one fire warrior type monster in your graveyard, special summon that target. Excuse me. Next up we got one of Joey's legendary cards in Time Wizard. It's a level 2 light attribute spellcaster effect monster with 500 attack and 400 defense with the effect. Once per turn, you can toss a coin and call it. If you call it right, destroy all monsters your opponent controls. If you call it wrong, destroy as many monsters you control as possible, and if you do, take damage equal to half the total attack those destroyed monsters had on the field. So pretty much, Time Wizard is a gamble. Talk about Time Wizard, they should call him Gamble. They should have made that Gamble Wizard. Shit. In any event, next up we have Phoenix Gearfried. This is a level 8 fire effect warrior Gemini effect. Level 8 fire attribute warrior Gemini effect monster with 2800 attack and 2200 defense with the effect. This card is treated as a normal monster, basically like you would with other Gemini monsters. But if you normal summon it, you have the ability to normal summon it as an effect monster with the effect. If your opponent activates a spell card, you can target one Gemini monster in your graveyard. Special summon that target during either player's turns. When a spell trap card is activated that targets a monster on the field, you can send one face-up equipped card you control to the graveyard to negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. Next up, we have Gemini Summoner. Actually, I think this might be a new card, actually. I could be wrong. I don't know. Some of these cards I don't remember. But, yeah, we're moving on. Anyway, next up we have Gemini Summoner. This is a water attribute. It's a level 4 water attribute spellcaster effect monster with 1500 attack and 0 defense with the effect. Once per turn during your opponent's end phase, you can pay 500 life points. Normal summon or set one Gemini monster from your hand, or normal summon one face-up Gemini monster you control. The first time this card would be destroyed by battle each turn, it is not destroyed. Alright. Next up we have Blazewing Butterfly. This is a level 4 fire attribute insect Gemini effect monster. You know how Gemini monsters work in this situation, so we're just gonna say we're just gonna say the effect that it can gain. You contribute this card, then target one Gemini monster in your graveyard, except Blazewing Butterfly. Special summon that target, and if you do, it becomes an effect monster and gains its effect. Next up, we have Dark Valkyria. This is a level 4 dark attribute fairy Gemini effect monster with 1800 attack and 1050 defense. Oh yeah, I probably forgot to say. I'm gonna go back to Blazewing Butterfly real quick. This card has 1500 attack and defense. Moving on. Now that we got that situated. This card, we already know how Geminis work. We might as well call this deck the... We might as well just call this deck the Red Eyes slash Gemini deck. Because we've been going through so many Gemini effect monsters in this deck, you pretty much know what they do by now. As far as like how you summon them and how to normal summon them into an effect monster and what their effect is. You already know how that works. We're moving on with the effect here. The effect that this gains, if you do normal summon it into an effect monster, is once while this card is face up on the field, you can place one spell counter on it. This card gains 300 attack for each spell counter on it. You can remove one spell counter from this card, then target one monster on the field, destroy that target. Next up we have Command Knight, which is a level 4 fire attribute warrior effect monster with 1200 attack, 1900 defense. With the effect, all warrior monsters you control gain 400 attack. If you control another monsters your opponent controls cannot target this card for an attack. Yeah, there you go. Anyway, next up we have Valkyrian Knight. This is a level 12 fire attribute warrior effect monster with 1900 attack, 1200 defense. With the effect, monsters you control, your opponent controls, cannot target face-up warrior type monsters for attacks except Valkyrian Knight. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can banish one warrior type monster and this card from your graveyard. Then target one level 5 or higher warrior type monster in your graveyard. Special summon that target. Let me take a wild guess what that one card would probably be. Alright, next up we have Keeper of the Shrine. Okay, now I'm pretty sure we haven't seen this one yet. Yeah, I'm starting to think some of these cards I want to take a look, and if there are some differences here of these cards, I will probably do these decks alongside the original. I'm going to have to take a look, because some of these cards I don't recognize on this deck alone. But anyway, next up we have Keeper of the Shrine, which is a level 4 dark attribute dragon effect monster with 0 attack, 2400 defense. With the effect, this card can be treated as 2 tributes with a tribute summon of a dragon-type monster. While this card is in your hand or graveyard, if a face-up dragon-type monster on the field, except Keeper of the Shrine, is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, or because it was destroyed by battle, you can special summon this card. Then, if that monster sent to the graveyard is a normal monster, you can add one dragon-type normal monster from your graveyard to your hand. You can only use this effect of Keeper of the Shrine once per turn. Interesting. Now it's time for the spell cards, and we're starting off with Inferno Fire Blast. Target one face-up Red Eyes Black Dragon you control. Inflict damage to your opponent equal to its original attack. Red Eyes Black Dragon cannot attack the turn you activate this card. Next up we have Red Eyes Fusion, another spell card with the effect Fusion. Summon one fusion monster that lists a Red Eyes monster as material from your extra deck using monsters from your hand, deck, or field as fusion materials, and if you do, its name becomes Red Eyes Black Dragon. You cannot normal or special summon other monsters the turn you activate this card. You can only activate one Red Eyes Fusion per turn. Next up we have Cards of the Red Stone. This spell card has the effect send one level 7 Red Eyes monster from your hand to the graveyard. Draw 2 cards, then you can send one level 7 Red Eyes monsters from your deck to the graveyard. You can only activate one Cards of the Red Stone per turn. Next up we have Regular Polymerization. Spell card with the effect Fusion. Summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion materials. This would be for something like Alligator's Sword Dragon, which we'll get to in a moment. Salamandra. This equipped spell card has the effect equip only to a fire monster. It gains 700 attack. Pretty much. Next up we have the quick play spell Scapegoat. Special summon a 4 sheep tokens in defense position. These sheep tokens are a beast type Earth attribute level 1 monsters with 0 attack and defense. These tokens cannot be attributed for a tribute summon. You cannot summon other monsters the turn you activate this card, but you can normal set. Yeah, it's gotta be that. It's gotta be very, very picky. Anyway, next up, Foolish Burial. This spell card has the effect: send one monster from your deck to the graveyard. It may seem bad, but I mean, dude, this card is so good. They made Foolish Burial Goods, which is another spell card that I think I have in a separate deck. But yeah, this was a really powerful card for what it was worth. Next up, we have Roulette Spider. This is a quick play spell card with the effect: when an opponent's monster declares an attack, roll a 6-sided die and apply the result. If you roll a 1, halve your life points. Roll a 2, make that attack a direct attack. Roll a 3, choose one monster you control, change the attack target to it, and perform damage calculation. Roll a 4, choose one other monster your opponent controls, change the attack target to it, and perform damage calculation. 5. Negate the attack, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the monster's attack, and if you roll a 6, destroy that opponent's monster. So pretty much, don't get 1 or 2. 3 to 6 are very good, but don't get the other ones. Anyway, next up we have Supervise, which is an equipped spell card with the effect: equip only to a Gemini monster. It becomes an effect monster and gains its effects. If this face-up card is sent from the field to the graveyard, target one normal monster in your graveyard and special summon it. Next up we have Mystical Space Typhoon, which is a quick play spell card with the effect: target one spell trap on the field, destroy that target. Such a good card, this one. Next up we have Symbols of Duty. This is a equipped spell card with the effect: send one normal monster you control to the graveyard, then target one monster in either player's graveyard. Special summon it, and if you do, equip this card to it. When this card leaves the field, destroy the equipped monster. Yeah. Now for the trap cards, and we start off with Red Eyes Spirit. Target one Red Eyes monster in your graveyard except Red Eyes Black Chick. Special summon it. Next we have another popular classic card in Kunai with Chain. This trap card has the effect: activate one or both of these effects simultaneously. 1. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, target the attacking monster, change that target to defense position. And 2. Target one face-up monster you control, equip this card to that target, it gains 500 attack. Next we have Torrential Tribute. This trap card has the effect: when a monster is summoned, destroy all monsters on the field. Next we have Call of the Haunted. This continuous trap card has the effect: activate this card by targeting one monster in your graveyard. Special summon that target in attack position. When this card leaves the field, destroy that target. When that target is destroyed, destroy this card. Yeah, that's how it is. Now, it specifically says if either is destroyed, destroy that target. If the monster the Call of the Haunted is attached to, so let's say Red Eyes Black Dragon was brought back to the field by this card. If Red Eyes Black Dragon is sent from the field by any other means other than being destroyed, this card stays on the field. So be mindful of that when you play this card. Anyway, next up we have Burst Breath. This trap card has the effect: tribute one Dragon-type monster, destroy all face-up monsters on the field whose defense is less than or equal to the attack of the tributed monster had on the field. Yeah. After that, we have the trap card Curse of Anubis. This trap card has the effect: Change all effect monsters on the field to defense position. Until the end of this turn, the original defense of those monsters becomes 0. Also, their battle positions cannot be changed. Now it's time for these for this extra deck for the extra monsters. We have Archfiend Black Skull Dragon. This is a level 9 Dark Attribute Dragon Fusion effect monster with 3200 attack and 2500 defense. Requires 1 level 6 Archfiend normal monster plus 1 Red Eyes normal monster to fusion summon this card. You can only special summon Archfiend Black Skull Dragon once per turn. If this card battles your opponent's cards and effects cannot be activated until the end of the damage step if damage calculation is performed involving this fusion summon card at the end of the battle phase. You can turn a 1 Red Eyes normal monster in your graveyard, inflict damage to your opponent equal to its attack in the graveyard, then shuffle it into the deck. Alright. And finally we have Alligator Sword Dragon. It's a level 5 Wind Attribute Dragon Fusion effect monster with 1700 attack and 1500 defense with the effect. This card requires Baby Dragon plus Alligator Sword to fusion summon, but it has the effect, this card can attack your opponent directly if the only face of monsters they control are Earth, Water, or Fire. And then, of course, you got the Joey token. Yep. There is the Joey token right here. Which I think is really neat. Which I think is really cool. Alright. So that's Joey's deck. Now, we're going to open up Kaiba's. So we're going to save the best for last. Well, we're saving the king of names for last, I should say. Because I don't know if we would call him the best at this point. Because I'm pretty sure some of these decks that I got over here might give him, and as well as the other two, a run for their money. Looking at you, Track Tricks. Alright. Yeah, I'm just looking at the deck real quick just to see if there's anything different about it. Yeah, I don't think there's any... Yeah, I don't think there's any different cards in Kaiba's deck in this situation. But in any case, let's go ahead and show off what we got here. Starting things off, we have Maiden with Eyes of Blue. It's a level 1 light attribute spellcaster tuner effect monster with 0 attack, 0 defense. With the effect, when this card is targeted for an attack, you can negate the attack, and if you do, change the battle position of this card, then you can special summon 1 Blue Eyes White Dragon from your hand, deck, or graveyard. During either player's turn, when a card or effect is activated that targets this face-up card, you can special summon 1 Blue Eyes White Dragon from your hand, deck, or graveyard. You can only use 1 Maiden with Eyes of Blue effect per turn, and only once that turn. Next up, we have the Melody of Awakening Dragon. The spell card has the effect, discard 1 card, add up to 2 dragon-type monsters with with 3,000 or more attack and 2,500 or less defense from your deck to your hand. Yeah. And then, of course, we got the biggest fearsome monster as far as monsters with no effect, which kind of makes it bad in its own way, especially with modern day Yu-Gi-Oh! With the big, powerful level 12, with the level 12 light attribute Dragon Fusion monster, the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Requires 1, 2, 3 Blue Eyes to summon it with 4,500 attack and 3,800 defense. In hindsight, it can defeat the Obelisk, the Tormentor. But with Obelisk's effect, it will make a difference. Yeah, I thought somebody was coming in. But anyway, since these are all the same cards, I'm going to show them off all together. But but here we go. We got not one, not two, but 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons. All 3, obviously, are the same card, different designs, though. Kind of makes me wonder why they did that, but I digress. Blue Eyes White Dragon, I'll use the original version for obvious reasons. The Blue Eyes White Dragon is a level 8 light attribute dragon normal monster with 3,000 attack, 2,500 defense with the effect, or with the description. This legendary dragon is a powerful engine of destruction, virtually invincible. Very few have faced this awesome creature and lived to tell the tale. Yeah, if I had to pick my favorite ones out of here, I would say in this order, it would be like this. This would be my top favorite because it's the original. You gotta respect the classic. This one would be my second favorite. And this one would be my least favorite out of the 3 that we got here. So, yeah. So, obviously, we're going to put the top favorite face as the first card there. Next up, we have Dragon Spirit of White. This is a level 8 a level 8 light attribute dragon effect monster. With the effect, this card is always treated as a Blue Eyes card. This card is treated as a normal monster while in the hand or graveyard. When this card is normal or special summon, you can turn a 1-spell trap card your opponent controls, banish it. During either player's turn, if your opponent controls a monster, you can tribute this card and special summon 1 Blue Eyes White Dragon from your hand. Yeah. Next up, we have Kaiba Man. It's a level 3 light attribute warrior effect monster with 200 attack and 700 defense. With the effect, you can tribute this card, special summon 1 Blue Eyes White Dragon from your hand. Yeah, it's that simple. Alright. Next up, we have the White Stone of Legend. This is a level 1 Dragon Tuner effect monster with 300 attack, 2,500 defense. With the effect, if this card is sent to the graveyard, add 1 Blue Eyes White Dragon from your deck to your hand. Yep. Then we have the White Stone of Ancients. It's a level 1 light attribute Dragon Tuner effect monster with 600 attack, 500 defense. With the effect, once per turn during the end phase, if this card is sent to the graveyard, because it was sent there this turn, you can special summon 1 Blue Eyes monster from your deck. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then turn a 1 Blue Eyes monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. You can only use this effect of the White Stone of Ancients once per turn. Next up, we have the Protector with Eyes of Blue. This is a level 1 light attribute spellcaster tuner effect monster with 800 attack and 1300 defense. With the effect, when this card is normal summoned, you can special summon 1 level 1 light tuner monster from your hand. You can target 1 effect monster you control and send it to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon 1 Blue Eyes monster from your hand. You can only use this effect of Protector with Eyes of Blue once per turn. Next up, we have Master with Eyes of Blue. This is a level 1 light attribute spellcaster tuner effect monster with 300 attack, 1200 defense. With the effect, when this card is normal summoned, you can target one level 1 light tuner monster in your graveyard. Add it to your hand. You can shuffle this card from your graveyard into the deck, then target one effect monster you control. Send it to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon one Blue Eyes monster from your graveyard, other than the sent monster. You can only use this effect of Master with Eyes of Blue once per turn. Now for the vanillas, we got Battle starting us off. This is a level 4 Earth attribute Beast Warrior with the 1700 attack and 1000 defense. With the description, a monster with tremendous power. It destroys enemies. It destroys enemies with a swing of its axe. Next up, we have Lejin, the mystical genie of the lamp. This is a level 4 dark attribute fiend type monster with 1800 attack and 1000 defense. With the effect, or with the description, I keep saying the effect, it's a description. With the description, a genie of the lamp that is at the beck and call of its master. Next up, we have Vorse Raider. This is a level 4 dark attribute beast warrior monster with 1900 attack, 1200 defense. With the description, this wicked beast warrior does every horrid thing imaginable and loves it. His axe bears the marks of his countless victims. Next up, we have Alexandrite Dragon. This is a level 4 light attribute dragon monster with 2000 attack and 100 defense. With the description, many of the Tsar's lost jewels can be found in the scales of this priceless dragon. Its creator remains a mystery. Along with how they acquired the imperial treasures. But whosoever finds this dragon has hit the jackpot, whether they know it or not. Now back to the effect monsters, we have Blade Knight. This is a level 4 light attribute warrior effect monster with 1600 attack and 1000 effect defense. I'm noticing a pattern here. With the effect, while you have one or less cards in your hand, this card gains 400 attack. If you control no other monsters, the effects of flip monsters destroyed by battle with this card are negated. Yeah. Alright. Next up, we have Ancient Lamp. This is a level 3 wind attribute spellcaster effect monster with 900 attack, 1400 defense. With the effect, during your main phase, you can special summon Lejin, the mystical genie of the lamp, from your hand. This card must be spaced up on the field to activate and to resolve this effect. Before damage calculation, if this card is being attacked by an opponent's monster and is face down at the start of the damage step, you can target one monster your opponent controls, except the attacking monster. The attacking monster attacks it instead, and you proceed to damage calculation. Yeah. Next up, we have Tiger Dragon. This is a level 6 Earth attribute dragon effect monster with 2400 attack and 1800 defense. With the effect, when this card is tribute summoned by tributing a dragon type monster, you can target up to 2 face down spell trap cards your opponent controls. Destroy those targets. Yeah, it's simple, isn't it? Anyway, next up we have Kid Moto Dragon. Oh, I completely didn't notice these comments. Sorry, Eric, I didn't notice them. Multiple of the same decks, but don't know where they are. Hey man, you're cheering me by using my favorite anime because my life is shit right now. Well, Eric, I hope things get better for you. But I appreciate that. I do appreciate the fact this is helping you. But I hope life treats you better in the near future. Now then, making sure that card at the bottom didn't get folded. Next up is Kidmodo Dragon. This is an Earth type, an Earth attribute, level 3 Dragon effect monster. I know I butchered it, but we're moving on. With 100 attack and 200 defense. With the effect, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one Dragon type monster from your hand. You cannot special summon monsters except Dragon type monsters that nor can that your battle phase the turn you activate this effect. You can only use this effect of Kidmodo Dragon once per turn. Next up we have King of the Swamp. This is a level 3 water attribute Agua effect monster with 500 attack and 1100 defense. With the effect, you can substitute this card for any one fusion material monster, but the other fusion material monsters must be correct. You can discard this card to the graveyard and one polymerization from your deck to your hand. Next up we have Rider of the Stormwinds. This is a level 1 light attribute dragon tuner effect monster with 500 attack and 200 defense. With the effect, you can target one dragon type normal monster you control. Equip this monster from your hand or field to that target. If a monster equipped with this card attacks a defense position monster, while inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent. If a monster equipped with this card would be destroyed, destroy this card instead. Don't mind the bathroom stuff. Don't mind the bathroom. We're moving on. Next up we have this. Now we're going on to the spell cards, starting with. Hold on a second. Okay. Sorry about that, family member. Alright. So moving on with what we were doing. We're going into the spell cards. Starting with Burst Stream of Destruction. The spell card has the effect: if you control Blue Eyes White Dragon, destroy all monsters your opponent controls. Blue Eyes White Dragon cannot attack the turn you activate this card. Simple as it gets. Next up we have Beacon of White. This is an equipped spell card with the effect: if you do not control another Beacon of White and you have 3 or more Blue Eyes monsters in your graveyard, target one of them, special summon it, but it has its effects negated, and equip it with this card. When this card leaves the field, banish the equipped monster. Other monsters you control cannot attack, and if you have any number of Blue Eyes monsters in your graveyard. Hey, Visible RT! Stop by saying, hey, I appreciate that. How you doing tonight? I'm doing pretty good, though. But how are you doing tonight? Uh, anyway. Also, if you have any number of Blue Eyes monsters in your graveyard, the equipped monster can attack up to that number of times during each battle phase. That's crazy. Good to hear. Next up, we have the field spell, Mausoleum of White. Yeah, Mausoleum of White. This field spell card has the effect: during your main phase, you can target. During your main phase, you can normal summon one level 1 light tuner monster in addition to your normal summoner set. You can only gain this effect once per turn. Once per turn, you can target one face-up monster you control, send one normal monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard, and if you do, the targeted monster gains attack and defense equal. What live is this? I don't know anything about cards. Okay, so to put it simply, these are Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I made a video showcasing how to play the game, but these are Yu-Gi-Oh cards, one of the more popular card TCGs that's been around since the early 2000s. Yes, I am that old, and yes, these cards were that old back in the day. Um, and yeah, these particular cards were re-released earlier today. Well, just recently, from their 2017 counterparts. So I bought me this again, even though I bought the same thing a few months back with the 2017 version. Either way, I'm doing this unboxing video showing all these cards for those that don't want to go that far back a few months ago. And alright, so yeah. But if you guys want to see, but yeah, like I said, I do have a video showcasing how this game is played. If anybody wants to see it, um, it's actually a really interesting video for me because while I don't really like how I didn't really like the camera setup. I do think I explained it decently well, but probably not the best, but not the worst. But yeah. In any event, this card, yeah. But yeah. Going back into this card here. So, long story short with this card, you can normal summon or set a light tuner monster alongside in addition to your regular normal summoner set, but you can only do it one time. You can also also it says once per turn. Um, you can target one face of monster you control. Send one normal monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard, and if you do, the targeted monster gains attack and defense equal to that level of the monster sent to the graveyard times 100 until the end of this turn, even if this card leaves the field. You can banish this card from your graveyard, add one burst stream of destruction from your deck to your hand. Yep. Polymerization, this was in Joey's deck, so I don't think I need a nice voice crack for us. Thank you. But yeah, I don't think I need to go into the detail here, because Joey has the same card as well, basically. But for those that just tuned in, I'll just say it anyway, because why not? Fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters in your hand or field, or from your hand or field as fusion materials. Next, we have Enemy Controller. This is a quick play. It's like a quick play spell card with the effect. Activate one of these effects. Target one face of monster your opponent controls. Change that target's battle position. Tribute one monster, then target one face of monster your opponent controls. Take control of that target until the end phase. Yeah. Back then I would have said until the end of the turn, but whatever. In any event, next up we have Shrink. This is another quick play spell card. With the effect, target one face of monster on the field. The original attack of that monster is halved until the end of this turn. Yep. Basically, after the end phase ends. Anyway, next up we have Silent Doom. You probably might remember this one from Taima's duel with Ishizu Ishtar. This spell card has the effect. Target one normal monster in your graveyard, special summon it in face down defense position, but it cannot attack. Yeah. Next up we have Ancient Rules. This spell card has the effect. Special summon one level 5 or higher normal monster from your hand. So yeah, Blue Eyes White Dragon right here. Next up we have Trade-In. This spell card has the effect. Discard one level 8 monster, draw 2 cards. Yep. Next, we have Where Art Thou? This spell card has the effect: if you control a face-up level 1 monster, add 1 level 1 monster from your deck to your hand. During the end phase of this turn, take 2,000 damage. Hey! Hey, 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 hey. That's not good. That's not good. We need to turn that TV down before I get copyright claimed. The TV muted itself. I didn't realize my TV was on. I was so focused on telling you guys these decks, I didn't realize my TV was still on. Yeah, I hope I don't get a copyright claim on that one. But anyway, yeah, this card has the effect: if you control a face-up level 1 monster, add 1 level 1 monster from your deck to your hand during the end phase of this turn. Take 2,000 damage if you did not normal summon the added monster or a card with that same name after activating this card. Yep, pretty much. Next up we have Pot of Dichotomy? Dichotomy? I don't know. Anyway, this spell card has the effect: at the start of your main phase, target 3 monsters with different types in your graveyard. Shuffle all 3 into the deck, then draw 2 cards. You cannot connect your battle phase the turn you activate this card. Interesting. Next up we have Fusion Substitute. This card's name is always treated as polymerization, which is ironic because look at that. It's on the card is actually in the thing. Fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters you control as fusion materials. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then turn the 1 fusion monster in your graveyard, return it to the extra deck, then draw 1 card. Nice. Interesting. Okay. Next up, Unexpected Die. This spell card has the effect: if you control no monsters, special summon 1 level 4 or lower normal monster from the deck. I don't know if that's a good... Like, I guess it's like a special summon and then you can do a normal summon. I'm guessing that's how to do it with that card. But now we're going into the trap cards. Starting off with a classic trap card that may or may not be worth it nowadays, but whatever. We have a counter trap known as Negate Attack. This trap card has the effect: when an opponent's monster declares an attack, target the attacking monster, negate the attack, then end the battle phase. Next up we have Final Attack Orders. This continuous trap card has the effect: all face-up monsters on the field are changed to attack position, and their battle positions cannot be changed at all. Next up, we have Shadow Spell. This continuous trap card has the effect: activate this card by targeting 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. It loses 700 attack. Also, it cannot attack or change its battle position. When it leaves the field, destroy this card. Next up, we have Cloning. This trap card has the effect: when your opponent normal or flip summons a monster that has a level, target that face-up monster. Special summon 1 clone token with the same original type, attribute, level, attack, and defense as that target. When that target is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, destroy this token. Next up, we have Fusion Reserve. This trap card has the effect: reveal 1 fusion monster in your extra deck, add 1 of the fusion materials listed on that card from your deck to your hand. Then you can add 1 polymerization from your graveyard to your hand. Next we have Jar of Avarice. This trap card has the effect: target 5 cards in your graveyard except Jar of Avarice. Shuffle all 5 into the deck, then draw 1 card. You can only activate 1 Jar of Avarice per turn. I do have the Pot of Avarice, which I think is just crazy with its effect. It's one of those. It's one of those better pot. One of those better pot of cards. Just like with this one, it's pretty good in itself with it being a jar, though. Anyway, next up we have Azure Eyes Silver Dragon. I just now thinking about the fact that I remember when Jar of Greed was one of the cards that I owned. I used to think it was not that good of a card because of the effect that you can only draw one card. Just draw one card. That was all it was said on it, and I'm like, okay, how is that any good? Little did I later realize how good it probably is nowadays, considering the fact that it's one of the banned cards. I think Pot of Greed is for sure, but I think Jar of Greed is banned as well. I could be wrong there. But anyway, next up, Azure Eyes Silver Dragon. Hello, Magic Story. How you doing tonight? What's my Discord? Um, I'm kind of curious to know why you want to know that. I'm a bit more cautious with giving my Discord to other people because some time ago I got hacked on my original Discord account, so I had to make a new one, which kind of sucks, but that that is what it is. Old server link didn't work. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make a new server because that one got taken down because of the person that hacked my account. I am gonna be making a new Discord server soon. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about that. I'll be sure to post a link to it when I get it ready. Anyway, Azure Eyes Silver Dragon. This is a level 9 High Attribute Dragon Synchro Effect monster with 2500 attack and 3000 defense. Requires 1 tuner plus 1 or more non-tuner normal monsters. With the effect, if this card is special summoned, dragon type monsters you currently control cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects until the end of the next turn. Once per turn during your standby phase, you can target one normal monster in your graveyard, special summon that target. And finally, we have First of the Dragons. This is a level... level 9 Dark Attribute Dragon Fusion Effect monster with 2700 attack, 2000 defense. Requires 2 normal monsters to fusion summon with the effect. Must be fusion summoned and cannot be special summoned by other ways. You can only control one First of the Dragons. This card cannot be destroyed by battle except by battle with a normal monster. It is unaffected by other monsters' effects. Yep, there's that. And the Kaiba token. Look at this. Look at how cool this token looks. Probably the coolest looking token out of them so far. Alright. Sorry, didn't mean to bump the camera. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the deck you may or may not have been you all may or may not have been waiting for, depending on who you are. Whether you're a fan of Joey or a fan of Kaiba or a fan of this deck, it is about time we open up the Yugi deck. Okay, let's see. Trying to hurry up with this thing here. Oh, I actually got it. Maybe. Oh wow, I actually did get it. Let's see, is there any changes to this deck here that I should know about? No, there's no change here. But it's gonna be fun reading some of these texts. Alright. Starting this off, we have Slifer the Sky Dragon. This is a level 10 divine attribute. Yeah, it's divine, right? Yeah. Divine attribute, divine beast effect monster with unknown attacker defense because of its effect. Requires 3 tributes to normal summon, cannot be normal set. This card's normal summon cannot be negated. When normal summoned, cards and effects cannot be activated. Once per turn during the end phase, if this card was special summoned, send it to the graveyard. This card gains 1,000 attack and defense for each card in your hand. If a monster or monsters is normal or special summoned to your opponent's field, and face-up attack position, that monster or monsters loses 2,000 attack. Then, if its attack has been reduced to a 0 as a result, destroy it. Yeah, I completely read it while you guys didn't even notice the card picture, so I'll leave it here for a little bit here. Look at that. Boom. Next up, we have Obelisk the Tormentor. This is a level 10 Divine Attribute, Divine Beast effect monster with 4,000 attack and defense. With the effect, requires 3 tributes to... Oh. Hello! Hello, Fly Clips. How you doing today? What are we talking about? Is it long? Is what long? I can't answer a question if it's too vague. Don't ask me a question. Don't ask me a vague question. Because then it's going to make me ask what you mean. Anyway, this card has 4,000 attack and defense with the effect. Requires 3 tributes to normal summon. Cannot be normal set. This card's normal summon cannot be negated. When normal summon, cards and effects cannot be activated. Cannot be targeted by... It's 2024. And people gotta be asking stupid questions like it's 2014, 2007, whatever. Either way, people gotta be asking stupid questions. What does that have to do with what I'm doing here? Answer: absolutely nothing. So take your dirty mindedness and get the f out. We're moving on. This card cannot be targeted by spells, traps, or card effects once per turn during the end phase. If this card was special summoned, send it to the graveyard. You can tribute 2 monsters. Destroy all monsters your opponent controls. This card cannot declare an attack the turn this effect is activated. Next up, we have the Winged Dragon of Ra. This is a level 10 Divine Attribute, Divine Beast effect monster. Attack and defense unknown. With the effect, cannot be special summoned. Requires 3 tributes to normal summon. cannot be normal set. This card's normal summon cannot be negated. When normal summon, yeah, be very mindful of the chat right now. When normal summoned, other cards and effects cannot be activated. When this card is normal summoned, you can pay life points so that you only have 100 left. This card gains attack and defense equal to the amount of life points paid. You can pay 1,000 life points, then target one monster on the field, destroy that target. Next up, we have the legendary Exodia Incarnate. This is a level 10 Dark Attribute Spellcaster Effect monster with unknown attack and 0 defense. With the effect, cannot be normal summoned set, must be special summoned from your hand by attributing one forbidden monster, and cannot be special summoned by other ways. This card gains 1,000 attack for each forbidden one monster in your graveyard. Unaffected by this card's effects, once per turn during your end phase, add one forbidden one monster from your graveyard to your hand. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can reveal any number of forbidden one monsters in your hand, and if you do, draw one card for each. Here. I'll just show this for a little bit here real quick. And there you go. Next up we have the spell card, Ties of the Brethren. The spell card has the effect, pay 2,000 life points, then target one level 4 or lower monster you control. For the rest of this turn after this card resolves, you can add special summon monsters. Also special summon 2 monsters from your deck with the same type, attribute, and level as that monster, but with different names for each other as that monster. You cannot connect your battle phase the turn you activate this card. Alright. And finally, for the big cards here, we have the trap card Obliterate! This continuous trap card has the effect, you can target one monster on the field, send one forbidden one monster or Exodia card from your hand or deck to the graveyard, and if you do, return that target to the hand. If this card is sent from the field, from the spell and trap zone to the graveyard, you can target one forbidden one monster or Exodia card in your graveyard. Add it to your hand. You can only use one Obliterate effect per turn, and only once that turn. My foot's getting sleepy. My foot is getting tired. Next up, we have Exodia the Forbidden One. This is a level 3 Dark Attribute Spellcaster Effect monster with 1,000 attack and defense. With the effect, if you have right leg of the Forbidden One, left leg of the Forbidden One, right arm of the Forbidden One, and left arm of the Forbidden One, in addition to this card in your hand, you win the duel. Now, I'm going to show these cards all together. Because this is what it basically boils down to. These are the right leg, right arm, left leg, and left arm of the Forbidden One. Yep. And they all basically have the same thing. Mine is talking about a forbidden left leg, a forbidden left arm, a forbidden right arm, and forbidden left leg of sealed by magic. Whosoever breaks this seal will know infinite power. Yugi did so before, but yeah. Up until some dickhead, won't say any names, but he is indeed a dickhead, decided it was a damn good idea to throw Exodia overboard. And yes, and those four pieces do have the same attack and defense with 200 attack and 300 defense. Alongside Exodia's 1000 attack, 1000 defense. There we go. That's better. Alright, we're back now. Next up, we have Exodia Necros. This is a level 4 dark attribute spellcaster effect monster with 1800 attack and 0 defense. With the effect, cannot be normal summoned or set, must be special summoned with contract with Exodia, and cannot be special summoned by other ways. Cannot be destroyed by battle or spell trap effect. Once per turn during your standby phase, this card gains 500 attack. Destroy this card unless all five of these cards are in your graveyard. Exodia the Forbidden One, right arm of the Forbidden One, left arm of the Forbidden One, right leg of the Forbidden One, and left leg of the Forbidden One. Next up, we have just about a number of people's favorite cards. Wait, what? Wait, what? Hold on, let me see that. What? No, he didn't. Hold on a second, let me see this. Alright, Peter Short. What the hell is that supposed to mean? He's not dead. I just looked. I don't see anything from him saying he's dead. And I don't like death hoaxes either. Those things can go burn and die in a hole. Unlike the people that they like to say is dead, but really aren't. Alright. Moving on. Next up, we have Dark Magician. This is a level 7 Dark Attribute Spellcaster monster with 2500 attack and 2100 defense. With the effect, or with the description, the ultimate wizard in terms of attack and defense. Which is partly true. And here is his apprentice, the Dark Magician Girl. The Dark Magician Girl. This is a level 6 Dark Attribute Spellcaster effect monster with 2000 attack and 1700 defense. With the effect, this card gains 300 attack for every Dark Magician or Magician of Black Chaos in either player's graveyard. Yep, that's how it is. And next up, we have Buster Blader. This is a level 7 Earth Attribute Warrior effect monster with 2600 attack and 2300 defense. With the effect, this card gains 500 attack for each Dragon type monster your opponent controls or is in their graveyard. So pretty much it's going against Kaiba. That's pretty much the whole gist of Buster Blader. Anyway, next up we have Silent Magician level 8. This is a level 8 light attribute spellcaster effect monster with 3500 attack and 1000 defense. With the effect, cannot be normal summoned set, must be special summoned by Silent Magician level 4, and cannot be special summoned by other ways, unaffected by your opponent's spell effects. Speaking of which, next up we have Silent Magician level 4. This is a level 4 light attribute spellcaster effect monster with 1000 attack and 1000 defense. With the effect, each time your opponent draws a card or cards, place one spell counter on this card, max 5. This card gains 500 attack for each spell counter on it. During the standby phase of your next turn after the 5th spell counter is placed on this card, you can send this face-up card with 5 spell counters on it to the graveyard. Special summon 1 Silent Magician level 8 from your hand or deck. Remember what I said about Goblin Attack Force on how it's like the reverse Big Shield Gardner? Well, here he is. Big Shield Gardner. This is a level 4 Earth Attribute Warrior effect monster with 100 attack and 2600 defense. With the effect, during either player's turn, when this face down card and no other cards is targeted by a spell card, change this card to face up defense position, and if you do, negate the spell card's activation. If this card is attacked, change it to attack position at the end of the damage step. Next up, we have the Tricky. This is a level 5 Wind Attribute Spellcaster effect monster with 2000 attack, 1200 defense. With the effect, you can special summon this card from your hand by discarding 1 card. Next, we have Magician's Valkyria. This is a level 4 Light Attribute Spellcaster effect monster with 1600 attack and 1800 defense. With the effect, monsters your opponent controls cannot target face-up spellcaster type monsters for attacks, except this one. Yep, there you go. Next up, we have Blast Magician. This is a level 4 Fire Attribute Spellcaster effect monster. With the effect, this card has 1400 attack and 1700 defense. But its effect is, each time a spell card is activated, place 1 spell counter on this card when that spell card resolves. You can remove any number of spell counters from this card. Then target 1 face-up monster you're on the field with attack less than or equal to the number of counters you removed times 700. Remove or destroy that target. Next up, we have Blockman. This is a level 4 Earth Attribute Rock effect monster with 1000 attack, 1500 defense. With the effect, you can tribute this card, special summon in defense position, a number of block tokens equal to the number of your turns this card has been face up on your field. These tokens cannot declare an attack. Yep. Next, we have Marshmallow. This is a level 3 Light Attribute Fairy effect monster, 300 attack, 500 defense. With the effect, after damage calculation, if this card was attacked and was face down at the start of the damage step, the attacking player takes 1000 damage. Cannot be destroyed by battle. Yep. Next up, we have Sangan. This is a level 3 Dark Attribute Fiend effect monster with 1000 attack, 600 defense. With the effect, if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, add 1 monster with 1500 or less attack from your deck to your hand. But you cannot activate cards or the effects of cards with that name for the rest of this turn. You can only use this effect of Sangan once per turn. And now that's it for the monster cards. Now, for the spell cards. Starting us off, we have Gold Sarcophagus. This card has the effect, banish 1 card from your deck face up. During your second standby phase after this card's activation, add that card to your hand. Next up, we have Swords of Revealing Light. This spell card has the effect, flip all monsters your opponent controls face up. This card remains on the field for 3 of your opponent's turns. While this card is face up on the field, monsters your opponent controls cannot declare an attack. Next up, we have Magicians Unite. This spell card has the effect: if you control 2 or more attack position spellcaster type monsters, target one of them. Its attack becomes 3,000 until the end of this turn. Also, for the rest of this turn after this card resolves, other spellcaster type monsters you control cannot attack. Next up we have Magical Dimension. This quick play spell card has the effect: if you control a spellcaster type monster, target one monster you control. Tribute that target, then special summon one spellcaster type monster from your hand. Then you can destroy one monster on the field. Alright. Next up we have Tricky Spell 4. This quick play spell card has the effect: send one face up the Tricky you control to the graveyard. Special summon Tricky tokens in defense position equal to the number of monsters your opponent controls. Tricky tokens cannot declare an attack. And those Tricky tokens are given the same attributes as the Tricky, with being spellcaster type, wind level 5, 2,000 attack and 1,200 defense. Next up we have Thousand Knives. This spell card has the effect: if you control Dark Magician, target one monster your opponent controls, destroy that target. Next up we have Dark Magic Attack. This spell card has the effect: if you control Dark Magician, destroy all spell and trap cards your opponent controls. Yep, exactly what you think it is. Next up we have Contract with Exodia. This spell card has the effect: if you have all 5 of Exodia the Forbidden One, right arm of the Forbidden One, left arm of the Forbidden One, right leg of the Forbidden One, and left leg of the Forbidden One in your graveyard, special summon one Exodia Necros from your hand. Next up we have Messenger of Peace. This continuous spell card has the effect: monsters of 1,500 or more attack cannot declare an attack. Once per turn during your standby phase, pay 100 life points or destroy this card. Next up we have Dark Factory of Mass Production. This spell card has the effect: target 2 normal monsters in your graveyard. Add those targets to your hand. Next up we have Monster Reincarnation. This spell card has the effect: discard 1 card, then target 1 monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. Next we have the field spell, Secret Village of the Spellcasters. This field spell has the effect: if you control a spellcaster type monster and your opponent does not, your opponent cannot activate spell cards. If you control no spellcaster type monsters, you cannot activate spell cards. So pretty much, make sure you have spellcasters before you do anything on your field with spell cards. Anyway, next up we have Pot of Duality. This spell card has the effect: excavate the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 of them to your hand. Also, after that, shuffle the rest back into your deck. You can only activate 1 Pot of Duality per turn. You cannot special summon during the turn you activate this card. Alright. Next up we have the trap cards. And we're starting with a classic in Mirror Force. This trap card has the effect: when an opponent's monster declares an attack, destroy all attack position monster your opponent controls. Yep, it's such a classic card, that one. Almost as classic as this one. Next up we have Magical Hats. This trap card has the effect: during your opponent's battle phase, choose 2 spell or trap cards from your deck and 1 monster you control. Special summon them as normal monsters, attack 0, defense 0, and face down defense position. Set the chosen monster in it if it is face up, and shuffle them on the field. The 2 cards chosen from your deck are destroyed at the end of the battle phase, and cannot remain on the field except during the battle phase. Yeah, interesting card, isn't it? Alright, next up we have Magic Cylinder. This trap card has the effect: when an opponent's monster declares an attack, target the attacking monster, negate the attack, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to its attack. So it's basically like the negate attack, only better. That's what I'm getting from it. Anyway, next up we have Magician's Circle. This trap card has the effect: when a spellcaster type monster declares an attack, each player special summons one spellcaster type monster with 2,000 or less attack from their deck in attack position. Alright. And finally, we're almost there. Next up we have Backup Soldier. This trap card has the effect: while there are 5 or more monsters in your graveyard, target up to 3 non-effect monsters with 1,500 or less attack in your graveyard. Add them to your hand. And finally, we have Gravity Bind. This continuous trap card has the effect: level 4 or higher monsters cannot attack. And there is the Yugi token. Look at that. That is really cool if I do say so myself. But yes, like I said earlier, though, those secret rare cards that we got, that I opened up earlier when we started it, these cards are instantly Yugis. So we're gonna go ahead and put them there, so we don't forget later. Yes. Oh. Yes, there you go. These were the Yugi, Kaiba, and Joey decks that this came with. So what you guys think? Did you guys like them? Did you guys not like them? What did you like? What did you not like? Just tell me what you think about it in the comments. With that all being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for watching my opening the Legendary decks 2. Looking forward to trying these decks out later. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and until next time, this is Forrest Walpole, signing off.